It makes fasting so much easier. Why? This literally took the guesswork out of when to fast, how long to fast, what days are what days, you know what I mean? Like, tip number 3 is so good, okay? Like life-changing good. Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlene Town, your chronic illness bestie, and if you're here for chronic illness support, learning how to manage your symptoms with holistic practices like diet, exercise, and fasting, then you've made it to the right place. Go ahead and like and subscribe so you don't miss another video just like this one. What's up guys? Today's video, I'm giving you the top 5 tips on how you can make fasting easier, okay? Creating a fasting lifestyle is not easy at the beginning, so I want to give you these top 5 tips that I have done that has made fasting so much easier. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. So these tips do not go in order, so you're gonna want to stick around to hear all 5. But the first tip that I think you just need to wrap your head around is the fact that fasting is not just magically easy for everyone, right? Like, it can look like, oh my goodness, they've got it so easy. Fasting must be easy for them, right? It's not, okay? Fasting is a challenge for everybody. And what I've experienced myself is that fasting is different every single day. As a woman, I am fasting around my hormone cycle. So some days I'm doing longer fasts, some days I'm doing shorter fasts, some days I'm not fasting at all. But what I've learned is that some days I can do a 20-hour fast, a 24-hour fast, and it's easy. Like, I don't have to think about it. I'm not hungry. Like, I have my eating window, I have my fasting window, and I'm good, right? Like, I've mentally prepared for it, and I'm like, cool, I'm not eating until, say, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and it's not a big deal. And then there are days where literally I'm like, oh my God, it's only been 13 hours. How is my eating window not open yet, right? Like, some days is a struggle and some days it's just easy, okay? So we take the good and the bad. What I want you to know is that no length fast is wrong, okay? So if you are like, okay, I'm doing a 17-hour fast, a 20-hour fast, a 15-hour fast, and you get, I don't know, to 13 hours, 14 hours, and you're like, oh my goodness, I am so hungry. I can't think of anything else. This is miserable. I need to eat something right now. Eat something, okay? Break your fast with an intentional fast, eat something healthy, do probiotics, get some apple cider vinegar, some healthy fats. Like, don't just go eat something garbagey, like eat something healthy to break your fast. But like, it's okay, and don't beat yourself up. Don't be like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm the worst. Like, I can't fast because I couldn't get to the length fast that I wanted to. No, just know that whatever you do is the best you can that day. And if the next day you want to actually hit your 17 hours, try again, okay? That's it. Like, as long as you keep going, you're gonna continue to get better and better, and it's gonna get easier and easier. And it just takes practice. Like, if you're going from eating, 6-8 meals a day, you're snacking all the time, to crunching it down to doing 17-hour fasts, it's gonna be a struggle, and that's okay. Like, we wanna push our body. We wanna make it feel like a struggle because that's when our body is like doing the work. If you're sitting at a comfortable steady eddy, like doing the same 14-hour fast every day and it's easy breezy, we gotta mix it up, right? Because that's when your body's gonna start to change, is when you start making it work a little bit harder, like going in and out of longer fasts and shorter fasts. Like, you can always go back to your 14-hour fast that feels easy, but push yourself a little bit. Maybe do a 15-hour fast, a 17-hour fast for a day or two, and then go back to your 14-hour fast, right? Just know that it's all a learning curve and that you're doing a good job. Just because you can't get through a longer fast one day doesn't mean that you've failed, okay? Just do the best you can and keep trying, okay? So tip 2 was a major game changer for me, and that was to change my routine. I noticed that I was seriously struggling in the morning because I used to have my routine, and I don't mean like change your whole routine. I mean, what is the thing that is causing you the most distress? And for me, it was my morning coffee routine. Like, I have had the same ritual for at least 3 to 4 years, okay, where I would have my cup of coffee in my Yeti mug with my Vital Proteins collagen and collagen creamer. So it had that vanilla taste. Like, it was delicious. I looked forward to it every morning. And then when I started pushing into my longer fasts, you can't do collagen. And I was like, okay, I was just putting, my coffee in my same coffee mug, and then I was doing the MCT oil in there. And it wasn't hitting the same, right? Like, it wasn't that delicious cup of coffee that I looked forward to. And I was disappointed every single morning that I did a longer fast. I was like, ugh. And so I realized, like, I just had to change my coffee routine. Like, I had to change my coffee ritual. When I'm not fasting, I do my delicious, Vital Proteins collagen creamer in my coffee, and it's amazing. Okay, so I look forward to that when I'm not fasting or on my shorter fasts. Like if I'm only doing a 13 or a 15-hour fast, I can still do my coffee in the morning and break my fast with that in the morning, right? But on my longer fasts, what I've done is I've just changed my coffee ritual. So instead of getting my Yeti mug, I just get a regular coffee cup, and I get my favorite coffee cup. And I just drink my coffee out of my mug now, because when I'm fasting, that is my new ritual, okay? And it was as easy as that. As soon as I switched, my brain stopped associating the coffee with my delicious coffee creamer because I was not holding the same mug. Now that's probably not gonna be the same for everyone, but for me, that was what was true for me. I changed my coffee mug and just the ritual behind it. Like my husband would set my mug out for me, I'd pour my coffee, and then I would enjoy it in my beautiful coffee mug. And I loved it, okay? So whatever it is that is like stressing you out, or what it's making it harder in the morning or whenever it is that you're struggling with fasting, see if you can figure out a different routine while you're fasting and something that you enjoy and that you look forward to, okay? All right, you guys, tip number 3 is so good, okay? Like life-changing good. I'm gonna screen share on my phone for you, but what I did to make fasting easier was tip number 3, okay? This literally took the guesswork out of when to fast, how to fast, how long to fast, what days are what days, you know what I mean? Like for us women, we need to fast around our cycle because we want to take into consideration our hormones. We want to support progesterone. We want to be able to do our longer fasts when all of our hormones are low. I've done other videos on fasting and hormones, so if you guys want those videos, they will be listed in the description box down below. We're not going to go into that today, but as women, it's best to fast around our cycle, okay? So for years, I have tracked my period cycle, right? So I know when my period starts, I know that it's 5 days, like I know those kinds of things about it. But then I was like continuously counting wrong, and I was like, okay, well, I think I should be on day 11, and then these are my fasts on day 11, and then I'd be like, oh my goodness, I counted wrong, and I should be doing this fast instead of that fast. No more, okay? What I did was I went into my phone and I created all of these different, and it takes a couple minutes, but it's worth it, people, worth it. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I created different calendars for the different days of my cycle, right? So from days 1 to 10, you can do any length fast that you want, right? It's like you're on your period, your hormones have all dropped, go any length fast that you want, right? And so I created a calendar for days 1 to 10, and I gave it a very specific color, and I wrote the length fasts that I want to do, right? On day 6 specifically, like in the Fast Like a Girl book, I've been doing the 30-day protocol. So on day 6, she tells you to push into a 24-hour fast. So in my phone, I've got day 6, we're doing a 24-hour fast, maybe a 36-hour fast, and I set a reminder for the day before of like, hey, we're doing a 24-hour fast tomorrow, prepare yourself, decide what your eating window is, etc., right? So I've got that set up. Then I've got days 11 to 15. Then I've got days 16 to 20, right? And then I've got the progesterone, like don't fast at this time. So I'm gonna show you what my particular one looks like. This is the 30-day Fast Like a Girl 30-day reset. I'm just doing that this month and maybe next month. I'm pushing into some 24-hour fast. I think I'm gonna do a 36-hour fast next month, but this is what it looks like. Just I color coded it. And so the easiest thing is I can open my phone. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know what my fast length is today or tomorrow. I can open up my phone, open up the date, and be like, great, today's a 17-hour fast. Tomorrow's a 17-hour fast. Ooh, I can do a shorter fast. For instance, today's 11 in my cycle. So I've got day 11 to 15. I can fast anywhere from 13 to 15 hours. Fantastic, right? So I can plan ahead of like yesterday, I was like, I don't know, is tomorrow a 17-hour fast or a 15-hour fast, whatever it is, right? So I just opened up my phone. Yesterday was a 17-hour fast, did my 17-hour fast, and I was like, I'm gonna plan ahead for the next day. Where am I at in my cycle? I just went over, there it is on the calendar, and it makes it so much easier. Like it takes the guesswork out of it. I don't have to go to my book. I don't have to recalculate every single day of the month, like my cycle or whatever. And then the beautiful part is all I have to do is repeat it. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a beautiful thing. So for me personally, what I'm gonna do, I want to wait until my period starts, and then I will go from day one. You know what I mean? Then I'll set up my calendar again and I'll just do it every month. Makes it so much easier. Just take the extra couple minutes, do it. It is so great. It's so easy. It has made my life so much easier this month, and I'm so glad that I did it. So moving on to tip number 4, and this kind of feeds off of tip number 3, but it's planning ahead, knowing when your eating window is open and when your fasting window is open, right? So being able to plan ahead and know, okay, I'm gonna be done eating by 6 o'clock tonight, and I am not gonna open my eating window until 11 o'clock the next day, right? Knowing those parameters is so important, and it's so good for my brain. It makes fasting so much easier. Why? Because you have a goal. You have something to get to, and then you've got like, this is the time that I eat, this is the time that I'm not eating, and that's it. It's black and white. Like, there's no gray area. There's no like, oh, well, I'm gonna have a snack at 10 p.m. You know what I mean? It's like, nope, my eating window was done at 6. We're done at 6. I don't need to have that bite of peanut butter when I'm making my kid's sandwich at 7:30, right? Like, I just know that my eating window is closed. It takes the guesswork out of it. It takes the snacking out of it. Like, it's just so good for my brain. Along the lines of planning ahead is when you're like thinking about your fasts for the month, I want you to think about how you plan on breaking your fasts, okay? So for me personally, one of my favorite ways to break almost any fast is trying to incorporate like all of these good things for my gut. So when I'm pushing into fasts like autophagy fasting, 17-hour fast, but even shorter fasts, I want to break my fast with a healthy fat. I want to break my fast with greens. I want to break my fast with apple cider vinegar, a healthy oil. So I do flaxseed oil, pumpkin seeds, eggs, right? So I've been creating like a breakfast bowl where I'll do 2 handfuls of mixed greens. Maybe I'll add some radicchio or some dandelion greens, add that bitter aspect. Those bitter lettuces are really helpful for your liver. But like the polyphenols, like that's good to support your gut. I always make sure to use a probiotic. Like I take my seed probiotic to make sure that I'm putting those good gut bacteria back into my gut after doing a fast of any length. Like instead of putting sugar into my system, right, and feeding the bad bacteria, because say you break your fast with pancakes with syrup. There's nothing wrong with pancakes and syrup, but when you break your fast with like waffles and pancakes and cereals, those are full of sugar, and now you're feeding the bad gut bacteria instead of feeding the good gut bacteria, right? So when we're choosing the healthy options, the foods that come from the earth that don't have a label on them, right? Like this delicious breakfast bowl that I've created, right? It's got all the good things that are feeding my gut, that are gonna help with digestion, and that's what I want when I'm breaking my fast. Now, when I'm doing a longer fast, say a 24-hour or a 36-hour fast, I know that I'm doing those particular fasts to heal my gut. And when I'm healing my gut, I want to put glycine into my gut. So I always do my probiotic because we got to do our probiotics. So I do my seed probiotic, and then I do a cup. I do as much as I can, okay? Sometimes I'll make a bone broth soup. Sometimes I just drink bone broth straight, and typically I do about a cup. They say to do a cup, maybe 2 cups. It's really hard for me to power down like that much. That much bone broth just straight, but I'll just warm up like a cup of bone broth, and then I sip that, and then I start to slowly incorporate some avocado or some veggies, you know, something easier to digest before jumping into my larger meals after such a long fast, okay? But just plan ahead. What are your goals with fasting? If you're using fasting to heal your autoimmune disease, you want to make sure to be eating anti-inflammatory foods, healthy foods, things that are feeding your gut, that are healing your gut, because we want to heal our gut to reduce inflammation, right? So doing those longer fasts, like 24-hour fasts, those are starting to heal the gut. And so you want to make sure that you're breaking your fast intentionally, okay? So planning ahead is crucial. It also just makes fasting easier because then you don't have to think like, oh my God, what am I going to eat after my fast? Like, you've already planned ahead. You know what meal you're going to have. And so for me personally, it's just easier when I already have that plan ahead of time. And number 5 is knowing how I'm going to support myself during any length fast, okay? Before I started fasting with Dr. Dr. Mindy Pelz, I was trying to white knuckle it and just drink water or do nothing, right? And then as I was doing research to do fasting now, to try fasting again, I just started fasting as a lifestyle 3 months ago, right? So it's been a process, and I did a bunch of research before I started. And so knowing the things that I can drink and eat during a fasted window to support myself was really, really helpful for me, okay? So having LMNT electrolyte powder is really helpful for me. I know that I can only have 1 cup of coffee, like 1 small cup of coffee during my longer fasts. Otherwise I start to get jittery, and when I get jittery, I want to eat something to like calm those nerves, right? So I'll have my 1 cup of coffee. I mean, I drink some water, I drink my coffee, and then I make sure to drink water with the LMNT electrolyte powder. It just helps hydrate me, and I just feel even and good, and it's great. Another thing that you can do during your fasted window is to take the pre or probiotic, like a seed symbiotic. Why? Because a lot of the times when you get that cue that you're hungry, it's really just your gut microbiome saying, hey, we want some sugar, feed us, right? So if we take a probiotic and we put stuff into our gut that's feeding our gut, it's gonna take away your hunger. So making sure that you have a probiotic or a prebiotic, Organifi has one. I will have that listed in the description box down below. You can also do the seed symbiotic, which is a pre and probiotic. I will have that listed in the description box down below for you. But those are really good ways to feed your gut microbiome while you're fasting, okay? Another thing that you can do when you're fasting, or that I like to do when I'm fasting, is I will have Keto Cups just on hand. Now, sometimes I don't need them at all. Like sometimes I'm not even thinking about it. I don't want them, right? And sometimes even in my shorter fast, like a 13 or 15 hour fast, sometimes I just feel hungry. And if I've done the probiotic and I've drank all the water and I'm like, you know what? I just need something. Okay, in order to stay in ketosis, like it depends on what you're doing for your fast, but like if you're just trying to stay in ketosis, you can have what they're called a fat bomb. So you can either have a tablespoon of MCT oil, you can have just a tablespoon of seed oil, okay? You can do a tablespoon of nut butter, not peanut butter, but like a nut butter, like a walnut butter or an almond butter. You can do, I think, up to a half of an avocado as just avocado. Shouldn't break your fast. Or they have Keto Cups. The Keto Cups are just like little fat bombs. Normally I have those. I can just take 1 or 2 of those and I feel like I just feel even. Mostly it's not even that I'm hungry, like it's not satisfying a hunger thing. It's satisfying that like my brain is telling me you need to eat something and it wants me to chew, I think. And so I have those and then I just feel good, okay? So making sure to set yourself up for success going into fasting. Know what you can eat, know what you can't eat. The best way to know what you can eat and what you can't drink, or what you can drink and you can eat versus what you can't, is to do a blood sugar test. And the way you do a blood sugar test is you take your blood sugar before you've had whatever it is that you want to drink, whether it's a tea or, you know, milk in your coffee or whatever it is, right? You take your blood sugar reading and then you eat or drink whatever it is that you're testing out, and then 30 minutes later you test your blood again. If your blood sugar's gone up by, I think it's like 5 points or more, it means you've been pulled out of your fast, okay? And on those days where you're experimenting, know that you're experimenting and that it's all just knowledge, okay? It's not right, it's not wrong, you're not doing something right or wrong, like you're just gaining knowledge about your body and what it needs. All of our gut microbiomes are so different, and what we eat affects our gut microbiome, okay? So the healthier you get your gut, the more resistant you're gonna be, the more you're gonna be able to eat or drink during your fasts, okay? So be kind and patient with yourself and just set yourself up for success on all of the things. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope that this was helpful for you. If it was, let me know in the comments down below what tip was the most helpful for you. If you guys want more fasting videos from me, they will be popping up on the screen right here. And if you've made it to this part of the video, why don't you click right here and subscribe, because I've got more videos like this coming for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.